Okay, so I'm gonna wrap this up. Here we go. I've already done half the crab cakes. I'm gonna show you how to put that together real quick. This is gonna be an accompaniment with the crab cakes. It's what they call a mixed vegetable slaw, and there's 9 million recipes of this. One that I really like comes from this cookbook right here, the Frog Commissary Cookbook. And this was brought to my attention from an elderly couple that would come into Williams-Sonoma when I used to do some cooking classes, and they told me, we were talking about cakes or something, and they told me about how I really like carrot cake. And they said, have you had the one from this cookbook, such and such? I said, no. So I checked it out, and I got this cookbook, and it has a ton of good recipes in it. Very easy recipes, but it is very eclectic too. And one of the recipes I found in here was this coleslaw, very easy. Half a head of small cabbage, thinly sliced, some mixed bell peppers, green, red, orange, yellow, whatever you have on hand. To make the vinaigrette, it's very easy. Let me just turn this out so I don't. The vinaigrette is it's a 1/4 cup of tarragon vinegar, 2 teaspoons of sugar, 2 teaspoons of kosher salt, 2½ teaspoons of coarsely ground black pepper. And you whisk that, and then you add a half a cup of, they have corn oil in here. I just put vegetable oil, or I'm sure you can put olive oil. And if you don't really like whisking or so forth, if you have one of these little things right here, a little protein shaker with the little wire ball in there, put your stuff in there, shake it up a little bit, and it's emulsified, just like that. And I'm gonna do this at the very end so that there's a crunch to it. If you do it now, it's gonna sog up. That salt is gonna draw out all the moisture, and it'll become really just kind of a little bit too wet. So I want to do that to the very end. That's all for that. To serve the crab cakes, to go on top of the crab cakes, I made just a quick tartar sauce. This tartar sauce, what I did is I just added about a cup of mayonnaise. Again, I really like Duke's mayonnaise or Hellmann's mayonnaise or whatever you have. A couple teaspoons of Dijon mustard, about a tablespoon of coarsely ground mustard. I had some capers in here that are slightly drained. I take some pickles, chop them up really finely, just a little bit of salt and some pepper, and so then we've got some quick tartar sauce for that. For the crab cakes, I put these in the freezer so they could firm up a little bit. They've been out a little bit now, so we'll see how they are. But I've just got some lightly seasoned flour, several eggs in here, and then the breadcrumb mixture. You see all kinds of things, whether it's cornmeal, maybe it's a mixture of dry breadcrumbs. I like to use fresh breadcrumbs. What I like to do beyond that is I'll go to the store and I'll get those onion rolls or those hamburger buns or the onion flavored ones, and I put them in a food processor, about 2 or 3 pieces with some fresh parsley, some freshly grated Parmesan cheese, a couple cloves of garlic, a couple tablespoons of olive oil. Put that in there, and you've got these really nice seasoned breadcrumbs. This goes really well if you're doing like baked fish or chicken, or if you're doing some kind of casserole or whatnot. So to put this together real quick, I'm going to show you. We've got this, and this gets messy, so oh well. It just got to happen. I'm going to pat that down. Then we've got an egg mixture right here. I'm going to get that as much off. I'm going to leave this water on so I can kind of just get my hands a little bit. And I've got it down on here, and then I'll take around the edges, press down a little bit. Okay. And you want to, while you're doing this, just press into this patty so that these breadcrumbs better stick on there. Okay. And I forgot to tell you about these crab cakes. I also add, as a dry filler, I always add Ritz crackers. I just crush up some Ritz crackers until it's the consistency that I like. And then I put them either in the refrigerator if I've got a lot of time on my hands, or if I don't have a lot of time, I'll just put them in the freezer for about 45 minutes to an hour. This. Do you want to say anything?
No.
Bless their hearts. Hold on. Just kind of rushing through this. quickly. And if you're making a lot of these, what I'm doing is I have my smaller oven on, I think, like 250, 225. So after I'm done sauteing these, about 4 minutes per side, I put them in a pan. It can be non-stick, it can be stainless steel. Get the oil to about 350 degrees, maybe about 1.5 inches or so. When it's 350 degrees, put your crab cakes in there. Since these are cold, the temperature is going to drop down. And that is completely normal. That's just going to happen. You don't need to worry about turning your oven, your stove top on high or anything like that. Just cook them until they're nice and golden brown on both sides, and you're going to put them in the oven anyway to finish cooking. And once they reach an internal temperature of 155 degrees, they are done. And I'll show you some of the ones, some of the crab cakes that I have in the oven right now. Wash my hands real quick. And rinse them, rather. Man, if I have enough for this last crab cake, I'm gonna be so impressed with myself that I was able to just, yep, the right amount-ish. And if it falls apart lightly, it's not the end of the world, just mash it back out. Okay, so now we're gonna put this into the skillet. Make sure your hands are pretty dry for this because you don't want that oil spitting at you. And then, see, I've just got these on a aerated thing. This is actually my air fryer utensil right there, pan, so that air is going through it instead of them just kind of sitting in itself and getting soggy. All right, I'm just gonna check this. Should be about 350. 352, that's good. All right. Now we'll add these in. And when you do this, you want to drop it away from you, because if you do it towards you, that oil is going to get on your skin. It's just not going to feel that good, I promise. All right, so I'm gonna let those cook until they're golden brown, about 3 to 4 minutes. Turn them over, a few more minutes. Make sure they're at least 155. If they're not, switch them out with those in there, and then platter them up.